Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 22nd of August for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the broad strands to look out for, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs from Aries through to Pisces. Now, as this week begins, Mercury, the ruler of the sign of Virgo, is forging a tremendous angle to Pluto. So there's a sense that the analysis that Mercury in Virgo provides at the best of times is heightened even more by this combination. Now the Sun on Tuesday also powers into Virgo. So a very Virgoan energy is starting to develop. Some may call this Virgo season. So what is the sign of Virgo about? It's the sixth zodiac sign. It's ruled by Mercury, of course. It is an earth sign, but also it's mutable in terms of its quality. So very much to do with flexing. But it's asking us to use our precision and discrimination to get some of the finer details of our situations working that much more efficiently. And that can be something that can give us a great deal of pleasure. It may not sound very sexy, but actually, if the main parts of our world are running in a well-ordered way, that frees up energy. And of course, the sign of Virgo is about health as well as virtue. So we have an opportunity over the next 5 weeks to really take these areas a lot more seriously, particularly as there is a Virgo new moon on Saturday, which is going to be particularly influential because it's squaring up to the mighty Mars in the sign of Gemini. Also, Mars is forging an exuberant link with Jupiter this week, which can give us a lot more desire to live in the moment. But the clash between Mars and the new moon suggests we shouldn't try too hard to be too perfect, to try to strip out too many parts of our existence which may be a little bit indulgent. It's about finding a nice balance. But also this week, Uranus slams on the brakes, the last of the higher octave planets to do so, and will be in retrograde through to the 22nd of January next year. But there's a T-square later this week between Saturn, Uranus and Venus. And in fact, Venus and Saturn are going to be exactly opposite one another. So any relationship where one partner tends to be quite sacrificing and hardworking, particularly on the domestic front, and the other person tends to be a bit more focused on their own needs, that could cause some frosty relations as this week draws to a close. But also on Friday, Mercury moves into the sign of Libra. So whatever happens this week, however much we're trying to reform certain areas of our life, whether it's to do with decluttering, clearing out drawers, recycling stuff that we don't need anymore, perhaps getting a bit fitter, looking at what we're eating and seeing if we can make some improvements, perhaps considering some physical health treatments such as massage or aromatherapy. All that virtue is going to be tested by that T-square that involves Saturn. So when Mercury moves into Libra at the end of this week, important to listen, because I do think a bit more of a critical vibe is going to start to develop as this week draws to a close. Please stay with me for your in-depth forecast, but if you are wanting to ascend above zodiac astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place, I can give you a roadmap that can guide you for the rest of your life. This can help you to understand some of the difficult patterns that may have come up over the years, but also highlight the opportunities that maybe you can embrace a bit tighter. But also with this, you will get a forecast as well, and 30% off with my special offer. Now you can get the rest of this year free as well as the whole of year 2023 within this forecast, please see the link below. Now, if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be grateful if you did so now. If you have already, thank you so much. So Virgo, your week commencing the 22nd of August forecast sees the sun return to your sign for the first time in 11 months. So that's really exciting because it's going to move you into the moment. It's going to give you more physical vitality. You're going to feel much more geared up to move forwards. Mercury, of course, your ruler, has been with you already and does forge a very perceptive link to Pluto this week. If you do need to think about things deeply, this will give you even added clarity. Now, Jupiter, the planet of growth and optimism, is in your sector of longer term finance, but it's linking in a very powerful way to Mars in your sector of success. If you are wanting to make progress in your personal interests, this is going to give you an added amount of self-confidence, this set of energies. It's just that with Venus in your 12th house locked in a really tough opposition with Saturn later this week, and both linking in a T-square to the rather restless energies of Uranus, the truth of one particular alliance or relationship may really hit home. And that could be inhibiting in terms of your desire to move forwards in a more individualistic way. So basically your focus can be divided between what you really want to do and dealing with a sensitive personal issue, and it could be about a relationship. How do you deal with this? Well, sometimes in life we do have to be very single-minded, and the new moon in your sign on Saturday gives you a chance to recast your personal identity, your appearance, to update your approach in some really buzzy ways, but it does have a right angle with Mars. So that can give you extra velocity, extra vibrancy, and extra thrust, but it could also see you coming into conflict with somebody who doesn't quite get where you're coming from, whether it's a line manager, a family member, a friend, or a partner. But why should you hold back from showing your full range of talents and a determination to make progress? But I think a relationship could reach a very delicate point if your attention is solely set on the narrow strand that is likely to be really important to you.